Welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute, your source of internet marketing inspiration.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Law Firm Marketing Minute. I'm your host, John Henson, and this week wanted to talk about your content and how the content strategy really fits into the overall marketing ecosystem. There's concern. I've heard concerns about, it's a whole, like if a tree falls in the woods scenario, if you have all of this content, but no one's around to consume it, is it even working? And so, I wanted to, kind of give you a refresher on kind of the idea behind at least our content loop. And in that sense that, your content, if you're consistently putting out content, and obviously there's kind of two components to that. It's the type of content that you're putting out, but then also where you're putting it. And on one hand, obviously your content, your blogs, your videos, your podcasts, whatever, those are going to need to go on your website for sure. Absolutely. Your website should be kind of the central hub for everything that you're doing. But at the same time, the other elements of your content loop include places that you are distributing, and they are in and of themselves types of content. So for example, your social media platforms, they are on one hand, like, the social media posts that you make are in and of themselves pieces of content. The blogs that you share, the videos you share are in and of themselves pieces of content that fit in your content marketing ecosystem. But at the same time, they are obviously avenues for you to get your content in front of people. So kind of my point is that, like, a blog just sitting on your website is not inherently getting in front of people, right? You have to be sending people to your website. Your video sitting on YouTube or Vimeo, wherever you're putting it, is not getting out in front of people unless they know where to look. So when we talk about social media and also email, and we'll get to email here in a second, but when we talk about social media, that's how you're getting in front of people. You're building that follower base. You're boosting posts on Facebook to a targeted audience that's going to get your content out in front of people. You're making connections on LinkedIn, and you're sharing that content on all of those places. So you're not only creating content by posting on social media, but you're also getting those blogs, those videos, and everything out in front of people. And that's where the loop really starts to come into action, is when you're putting that stuff out. And so social media is one of those places. Email is another huge one. I cannot stress enough. And we've talked before a lot about how just failure to keep in touch and failure to just constantly remind yourself of who you are and how you can help is the biggest missed opportunity that a lot of law firms have. And so email in and of itself, like social media, is that piece of content, but it also is the vehicle for which your loop is going to keep moving. So that's why it's so important. We've talked about how important networking is. If you are familiar with our webinar series, back when the NCAA tournament was going on, we held our own little sort of marketing tournament, and networking was the winner of just like the most important marketing activity that you could be doing. And so, that's why it's so important to, network, build those relationships, get those business cards, plug them into your email contact list, get the contact information from your clients, past clients, even the leads that you generate. Continue to nurture those leads, even if you're not actively doing any sort of other marketing campaign to them. That's why we talk about how the content loop is so important. And when, you have that in place and you're constantly putting out those content, that's when you're getting it out in front of people. That's when you're driving traffic to your website. That is when people are going to see that content. And that's when you're going to be the most effective with it. Does that make sense? Like I said, like the content just sitting there in and of itself is not going to do anything. The part of the idea behind content marketing is that you are also getting that out in front of people. Social media, email, two of the easiest and best ways to do that. Email for sure. If you're going to start somewhere, start just a monthly email newsletter. put your blog in there, put a video in there, and that's it. If you have some firm announcements, go ahead and throw that in there as well. Don't do any cookie recipes. Don't do any third-party articles that have nothing to do with your firm. I got an email newsletter from a criminal defense attorney the other day, and it was all about health insurance. All right. This is a criminal defense attorney. He doesn't do anything associated with health insurance. So why was I getting email? And it was so frustrating. And, I joke about it before. I stay on his list just to be angry because it's terrible. It's so bad. And I get other newsletters from all kinds of attorneys where it's stuff that just is completely irrelevant. And that's when you're hurting yourself, because that's not good content. That's not reminding people of who you are and how you can help. But the email content where you're putting good content in there that you've prepared, that you've created, that's informative, that's evergreen, that's surface level, but still gives them enough information to let them know that you're the person for the job, and they feel a little better about their situation, that they feel a little bit more understanding about their situation. That's what's going to work. And that's what's going to keep all of those people in the loop. It's going to nurture those leads. It's going to remind your past clients of all the ways that you can help that maybe they haven't taken advantage of before. It's going to remind your referral sources of the kinds of business that they can send you. So many different ways that content marketing system builds and builds and builds and really maximizes those referrals. So like I said, there's really two elements to that content marketing system. It's the content creation, but it's also getting it out there. And social media and email, two really big components of that. Like I said, boosting posts on Facebook, especially if you don't have a high number of likes. A lot of times the number of likes that you have on your business page doesn't even matter. You can have 5,000 people who like your firm's Facebook page, but very few of them are actually going to see the post because just Facebook has limited the influence that business pages have. So getting around that is you boost the post. Even if it's just $1 per post, you can reach a few hundred to a couple thousand people. And it can be either the people who already like your page, or it can be a whole custom audience who isn't connected to your page yet. That's the power of it. And it's extending that reach and just continuing to make those touch points again. And then, like I said, with email, huge driver of referrals. We have clients tell us all the time that every month they get business from their email newsletters. And so that's how you get that content out. That's how you drive that traffic to your website. And that's how you get that content system to actually work and to be noticed. All right. Hope that was helpful for all you guys. Hope that you have a really strong week ahead. We're in the middle of summer. I know it slows down for a lot of people around this time of year. It's a great time to think about your marketing for the rest of this year and to figure out what your strategy is going to be for 2022. I know a lot of people tend to wait until December or even January to figure out what they're going to do for the year. But especially right now, when it's a little bit slow for some people, now's a great time to get that strategy in place to, make moves on what you're going to want to do in terms of your marketing for your law firm to finish out 2021 strong, but then also really start 2022 on the right foot. And obviously, we're always here to talk with you guys about it. If you have any questions, anything you want to talk about with your marketing, with your business, we're always here and happy to chat with you. So that's going to do it for us this week. Continue to check out Center Stage, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, and that's going to do it for us. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for joining us. Please visit lawfirmmarketingminute.com for more information. We'll see you next time.